Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Oddly Enough show that we do every week with Swingin Johnson. And of course, the NFL season, we just get Swingin's best bets for the upcoming NFL card every week. And right now we're taking a look ahead to NFL Week 8. And last week we dubbed the show a possible regression to the stupid. And we'll see if that actually did in fact occur. Swingin Johnson, how you doing?
You know, Loshak, there was a time not long ago when
I have my answer after the first 5 words. All right. Go ahead with your spiel, Swingin Johnson.
There was a time not long ago when I considered myself the Bubby Brister of NFL handicappers. You know, not a Hall of Fame guy like Montana or Manning or Brady, but a guy who wins more than he loses. The kind of guy who's not going to fuck it up, but it's going to help you in the long run. But after Sunday, Loshak, I woke up Monday morning and I saw Ryan Leaf staring right back at me. I'm telling you, man, Loshak, it wasn't pretty. I went 0-3 ATS, including a maximum 5-unit bona fide chase job on the Washington Redskins, who tortured me for the second consecutive week. We lost 3 units on the Falcons, 3 on the Niners. Loshak, I'm telling you what, you're one mofo, because I could see you smirking at me when I was giving my picks last week, because, you know, you like it when I squirm. You know, you like the fact that your name is Misery and you just love the company that I'm providing.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want to be a hater, and but I do feel like I have a good read on when you're going well and when you're not going so great. And also, I've been doing calls a lot with you, and you know, to your credit, you're one of the streakier guys that I've ever done calls with. And when you get hot, you know, you definitely get en fuego. More than once we've seen this in the playoffs in the NFL. You're often on fire at times during the regular season. And I admit that, you know, the past bunch of calls, I've been lukewarm at best in terms of my sense of how you're likely to do. And last week, you know, when I labeled the show a regression to the stupid, I mean, that I don't use those words lightly, and I certainly, you know, there was reason for that. We'll see what you got for us this week. You know, we'll see, maybe you can turn it around. And hey, listen, if you're not turning it around, it doesn't mean the show doesn't have value. It just means you fade Swingin until he turns it around. And so a streaky guy actually has quite a bit of value if you can identify which way his streaks are likely to be going at any given time.
I am certainly streaky, and but we're going to get it back on track. We could say that the old fade train is heading to Arrowhead this week, because I've got 2 picks, Loshak. I've narrowed it down. And the first one, as I said, Rams versus Chiefs. You want to hear about it?
Yeah, so you're only going to go with 2 picks this week.
That's it, baby.
Okay, Rams versus Chiefs. This is interesting because I'll tell you before we hear what you have to say. I previewed this game with 2 guys now, 2 professional handicappers, and it's interesting that both of them like the Chiefs here. What do you like here, Swingin?
I like the Chiefs. Okay. And as you know, I mean, we haven't seen, I'm not privy to any of the other interviews that you've done.
Yeah.
It's just you and I. But, you know, I'm looking at the Rams and I'm thinking to myself, man, if there was ever a letdown game, here it is. I mean, that game last week, I mean, I didn't bet the game myself, but I will tell you what, I am going deep in a suicide pool with a lot of people. And I'll tell you what, everybody had Seattle. I didn't. And I was thrilled when they pulled off that fake punt. And they, because you just know what the story was going to be. They were going to punt the ball away. Seattle was going to get it. They were going to kick a field goal with in the closing moment. I mean, you already read the script. You saw the movie. You knew it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. But you know what? They flipped the script. I love that. However, that being said, they came away with the 28-26 victory over the Seahawks. They shocked the nation, but now they're headed into Arrowhead. And if you think Arrowhead's an easy place to play, just ask Tom Brady and the Patriots a few weeks ago, because that place gets more than loud. It is one tough place to play. And, you know, the only thing that precludes me from making this a max play is because, you know, the Chiefs had a nice little victory of their own. Right. I mean, they went into San Diego, came out with a 23-20 victory. So, you know, they might be a little bit, you know, coming down a little bit as well. But one thing I do know is I love Jamal Charles. I mean, I think the reason that he doesn't get enough props in terms of the pantheon of great runners is simply because he's been injured. But man, oh man, I mean, they've got the 3rd best rushing attack. They have the best runner in the league in Charles. They're being opposed by the 28th rushing defense. For you guys out there that like stats, well, you can take a look and say that underdogs that beat the defending Super Bowl champions as underdogs in that game as well are 9-16 ATS since 2000. Kansas City is 5-1 straight up and ATS versus St. Louis since 1992. Do those mean anything? Probably not, but I like the Chiefs. -6, buying a full point, -130 for 4 units.
All right. Well, you are in good company there, with other people liking that side. All right. What's your second pick for us, Swingin?
Okay, a far less sexy game going on between the Bills and the Jets, but that's where we're landing down. We're touching down in New York, and we are backing the previously and currently woeful New York Jets. I'll tell you what, Loshak, last week New York looked better in defeat than Buffalo did in victory. Jets lost 27-25. But I'll tell you what, man, Geno Smith looked like the kind of guy that the Jets thought they drafted when they indeed did draft him. I mean, he looked absolutely solid. They could have won that game. It was a 58-yard field goal attempt, which was blocked, resulting in the Patriots' victory. But they played tough. And on the flip side of things, the Bills were actually lucky at home to defeat the Vikings. They came from behind the closing moments of the game. Orton hit Sammy Watkins, and that kid Sammy Watkins, by the way, is definitely the real deal, to win 17-16. But please don't overlook the fact that the Bills lost Fred Jackson and C.J. Spiller in that game. They will not be suiting up. So, Jets have won 9 of the last 12 meetings with the home team, as the home team being the favorite. And you know what? I think that true home teams, 17-7 ATS in the Bills' last 24 games. I'm going to play the Jets -2.5, -130 for 3 units.
Okay, Swingin Johnson. Jets certainly are a desperate team right now, and in football, we know how dangerous that can be. You might have a 2-0 week here, Swingin Johnson. I have no very, very clear read on your prospects right now. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.